In this video, I will show you every player that you need to succeed for tonight's Sunday Night Football Showdown Captain mode on DraftKings in 5 minutes or less. My name's Quick Pick Nick, and having simulated 100,500 different combinations of 6-man lineups, here are your locks and lotteries for this NFC showcase on September 27th. If you like this kind of fast-paced, calculated content, subscribe and stay tuned for more lineups throughout the season, including a FanDuel video for Monday Night Football tomorrow. To start off the lineup with a cheap lock in one of the 5 flex positions, my model recommends Jamel Williams. At only $2,000, Williams is the most valuable player in this slate given his DraftKings price. Williams serves as a consistent backup option to Green Bay's top running back Aaron Jones, but that doesn't mean that his performance while he's on the field is lackluster. Rather, it's quite the opposite, as Williams totaled nearly 8 yards per carry in week 2, and can also be used as a receiving threat, accumulating 4 receptions in the first week. Averaging 8.25 fantasy points per game so far, Williams can be expected to perform similarly tonight, which is way more than that which should be expected from someone who ranks far below the defenses. Following Williams with a second lock, my model selected Aaron Rodgers as the MVP for this lineup. Rodgers is wildly underpriced on DraftKings, ranking below both Aaron Jones and Alvin Kamara. Sure, Kamara is the go-to for touchdowns in New Orleans, and Jones had a huge game last week against a horrific Detroit rush defense, but Rodgers has no business ranking so significantly lower than either of the two, clocking in at $800 and $400 cheaper respectively. Rodgers threw for 364 yards in his first game alone and added 240 more in his second. There's no sign of him slowing down either, and he showed that he can still play without Davante Adams last week too, so you can safely lock in this potential MVP candidate in the MVP position for this contest. The next lock in this lineup is going to be the quarterback on the other side of the ball, that being Drew Brees. Brees' 2020 season has been disappointing to say the least, averaging only 16.5 fantasy points per game. It certainly seems like Michael Thomas's absence has had an effect on Drew Brees' productivity, but I still believe that even with this lower than expected output, Brees will be able to earn his price on DraftKings. Brees is priced significantly lower than Rodgers, or any other top player for that matter, as Brees costs $9,800, which is $1,200 cheaper than Rodgers. Any quarterback this cheap would be a good pick for a single game slate, but we're talking about Drew Brees here, and it's only a matter of time before he gets back on track with his former self. Even if he doesn't though, he's still worth the lock given his low price and high floor for fantasy points. The final lock for this lineup will be the top player offered, Alvin Kamara. Now don't get me wrong, Kamara is very expensive given his DraftKings cost of $11,800, but he is still the most likely candidate to score the most fantasy points tonight. Even at such a high price, Kamara is still expected to have value outscoring his cost, and he's shown over the past 2 games that he is able to consistently score touchdowns while getting a ton of looks from Brees, scoring 4 touchdowns and getting targeted 17 times during the first 2 weeks. Moving on to the lottery category, meaning these players have a lower confidence interval for successful value than the locks, the players for this week are pretty straightforward, and they are Jared Cook and Robert Tonyan. Cook was chosen because he is a reliable short-range option tight end for Drew Brees, and Brees is certainly looking for more options without Michael Thomas around. Thomas is currently questionable for the contest, but even if active, I would expect limitations, which is where Cook would be able to come in and help fill that void alongside the rest of the Saints' offensive cast. Finally, Tonyan was left as kind of a default option with the remaining cash, but he is still the best choice to fit with the other necessary players. Tonyan has seemingly become the Packers' top tight end, leading the snap count for the position and scoring a touchdown last week. With 2 of Green Bay's other tight ends, Josiah DeGuara and Tyler Ervin, likely out for this contest, as well as potentially Davante Adams, who will at least face limitations given an active designation, Tonyan will need to step up into his role as a leading tight end for the Cheeseheads. That's what my model was able to come up with for Sunday Night Football's single game showdown mode slate on DraftKings for Sunday, September 27th. If you enjoy these lineup builders, be a friend, tell a friend. It helps more than you could imagine and grows the Quick Pick Network. This has been Quick Pick Nick, the intersection for sports, data analysis, and speed. Thanks for watching.